Hola everyone, I hope you had a good day today and thank you very much for tuning in. Every day it's a new opportunity to learn something new and keep our minds open to the impossible. We are on June! You know, June is one of my favorite months of the year because we celebrate Pride. We celebrate the LGBTQ plus. It's a lot of letters, I know. But we celebrate who we are. We celebrate the gay existence. And why not? We're fabulous anyways. I know you have seen the letters LGBTQ plus everywhere. I know, everywhere. Or perhaps you have friends and even family who belongs to this amazing community. But do you know the meaning of these letters? No? Okay. Well, today is your lucky day. I will talk about this and more. I do want to warn you guys that I will talk about sensitive topics. So if you feel that you need to skip the video, you're more than welcome to do it. But I really hope you stay until the end to listen to my personal perspective about this amazing topic. But going back into the topic, each letter represents a group in the spectrum of sex and gender. L for lesbians, G for gays, B for bisexuals, T for transgenders, Q for queers, and plus sign for the people who don't feel represented in the last few labels. I don't blame them because I personally don't believe in labels. Since human beings are so much deeper than that, especially when it comes to love, sex, gender, and desires. But we use these labels to identify anyone who is not heterosexual or not cisgender. Our big community has a rich history. We have been around since the beginning of humans' existence, hiding among society. Now, this time, we have more freedom to express ourselves and live the life we choose to live. It is impossible to ignore the fact that we exist, plus we have contributed a lot to society. Do you guys know that thanks to the influence of Alan Turing in the development of computer science, we have the technology capable of taking us to the moon and beyond? He was a scientist, philosopher, mathematician, biologist, and a computer developer. His ideas led to the early version of modern computing, and Alan helped win World War II. Despite these accomplishments, he was never recognized back then. Due to what? To his homosexuality. Which was then a crime back in the UK. He went through court where he pleaded guilty. He got charged with gross indecency, and not only that, he was forced to undergo chemical castration. Yet he died as a criminal for his preferences back on June 7 of 1954. You know, it breaks my heart. It really does, because Alan Turing was just one of many people from the community with great contributions to our society. But due to their private preferences, they will never get fully recognized. In the past, it was very hard for our people. Basic human rights were denied, and their voices were shut down by closed-minded people, that kind of people that's scared of society development. Each of us have struggles as being part of the community, maybe with your family, friends, or within everything. And you know, the government has not always been in our favor. A clear example was back in the 90s when when a lot of people die from AIDS, our government took forever to acknowledge it, and actions were not made fast enough to save those souls. Back in that time, people would say things like, they deserve it. It is a punishment from God. Or why should we should help them? They were looking for it. When in reality, people from all races, sex, and ages died, not due to AIDS, but due to the lack of empathy for us, for the gay people, for the community. But you know, those comments are still being said by people who choose to embrace ignorance instead of human decency. But don't let that distract you, the fact that there are lots of people supporting us in every step of the way. That's why it's important. It's important to have conversation about LGBTQ plus people. You might not agree with our life, which you have a right to embrace that mindset. But that doesn't mean we don't exist and we don't deserve the same rights as everyone else. Other places, people have such an entitlement to treat you and talk to you the way they please. And they even think you're a pervert or a pedophile or your destiny is hell. Oh God, yeah, I know. There is an agenda. There is an agenda to silence our voices and take our natural rights away from us. Not only the community's rights, but humans' rights in general. We must stay vigilant and pay attention to what is happening in our world and the country itself. We need to become even more educated and teach future generations to be tolerant and respectful to each other. By doing this, we will stop any karma cycle of hate towards people. We have to invest empathy and compassion in every living being on Mother Earth. We are in 2019 and we're still dealing with people out there saying, you have a mental problem. God created even Adam. And the worst, you aren't worth of God's love. Through manipulation and shame, people will try to make you feel like you're the worst. When in fact, there is not a single passage in the Bible where Jesus said anything about gays, nor from the community. Instead, he said, love your neighbor, love everyone else. It's not your place to judge. That's what he said. And not a lot of people follow Jesus' example. When it comes to religion, I respect everyone's point of view. I don't agree with nobody's, but I can listen to them and I respect them. I was raised in the evangelistic church and the Catholic church when I was younger, and I did have a lot of experiences, sweet and sour experiences. Sweet because I got to know a side of God that I didn't before. And also the people from church made me feel like part of a family. And that helped me to be the person I am. And I'm thankful for those people in my life. But also, I had a really sour experience because I experienced conversion therapy, which it was not a good experience at all. It wasn't. If you're not familiar with what conversion therapy is, it's the practice of converting anyone from the community to to the heterosexual world to change your mindset and literally change your whole self in order to seek salvation, in order to be safe. I'm not against nor in favor of these therapies, but as everything else in my life, I am pro-choice. And if that's what you really want, go ahead, do it. In my case, it was my free will that decided to experience this. Maybe it was for a reason. Maybe it was for me to experience something and speak my truth and help others. Through this conversion therapy, I experienced a lot of horrible things. Like a lot of horrible things. They burned all of my clothes. All that clothes that was not according to what a man should wear was gone, was burned down. Every pink shirt, every ripped jean, didn't have everything. It was gone. Not only that, they practiced an exorcism on me, which I think they opened my spiritual side, but it was not in a good way. It was not in a good way. I had to heal myself from that, my own. You know, and also they brainwashed me. They brainwashed me to the point that I was so mad at myself for feeling the way I felt naturally since I was a kid, since my childhood. They literally made me hate myself. They literally made me hate myself and who I was. I could say that part of my life was one of the darkest time in my history as human being, and I was struggling with suicidal thoughts, with a major depression. I choose to please and make everyone else around me happy, but me, I was not happy. I was trying, but I couldn't lie to myself. I knew how I felt. The problem is when you profane children's free will by exposing them to these therapies, a lot of things will happen. A lot of them. The people in charge of these therapies are filled with good intentions, but with a lot more ignorance. So you as parents are the only one responsible for what it comes after your kids. Let your kids enjoy their childhood. Let them be kids. And for you that you're watching me right now and you're wondering if you're going to hell or heaven, let me tell you this. And let me tell you this very clear. Nobody knows. Nadie sabe what is next. Death is an unique experience. Nobody will have the same experience. Nobody will die the same way. And all you have to do is enjoy your time. Enjoy the time you have left on earth, which is very short. Very, very short. Never be ashamed of who you are. Guess what? We are unique. We are made of stardust. The same element that the universe is made of. It's in your body. Can you believe that? And not only that, we have a soul. We have a spirit, which gives us the consciousness of our human life. We are literally a universe within. There's nothing wrong with you at all. There's nothing wrong with you. And you need to start believing that you are loved, and you can control your life if you can only believe in the power that resides in you. Explore who you are. Love the true essence of yourself, and more than anything, stay true to who you are, and stay true to yourself. In the end, people will talk. People will always have something to say about you, about this, about that. They always do, good or bad, they do. Do not forget that people project their insecurities onto others because they're not capable of dealing with it, nor they are happy with their reality. It's happening. There's people who don't like, they just go around spreading the hate, the ignorance, because it's too much for them to bear. Literally, it's too much. They can with that negative energy around them. So they go around and spreading them. Of course, if you're part of the community, they will reject you, because these people, they're not capable of accepting themselves for who they are. But that's their choice. And there's nothing that we can do unless these people have the maturity to embrace diversity. Being ignorant is not a sin. Embrace ignorance is. And if you're one of those people harassing, bullying, and not minding your own business, karma is waiting for you, and will give you what you deserve. And not only that, the same karma will be passed down to your generations, to your kids, to your grandkids. It doesn't take anything. It doesn't take anything to be respectful. And even more, mind your own business. Be in charge of your life. Let other people be in charge of their life. I don't know about you guys, but this year in my life, a lot of women got pregnant. And I was thinking like, wow, are we ready for this new generation? Are we in collective society, as collective individual, are we ready to cut the karmic cycle within our family, friends, and society? Because we want everything to be changed, everything to change. We want everything to be perfect, but we don't put any effort into it. If we don't take actions, we will repeat the same mistakes, the same cycles the last generation was incapable of dealing with. And I'm being serious about this, guys. The world is changing for the better. There is a lot more people out there proud of who they are. And let me tell you this, gays are going nowhere. Especially once you tested freedom, you can never go back, if you know what I mean. If you're a parent, please, I'm begging you, teach your kids about the spectrum of human society within this reality. There is a whole reality out there, like I said before, which as parents, I understand you want to protect your kids and you want to save them from things that maybe you think there's not appropriate for their age. But just ask yourself this question. Are you really protecting them? Or are you just repeating the same cycle of ignorance that comes far back from your ancestors? You don't have to give specific details to your kids to talk about the LGBTQ plus people. I can give you an idea on how to talk to your kids. I did this with my little sister and it worked. You can use food since it's something that we all can relate to. Who doesn't like food? I hope you do. You could say something like, there's some people who like avocado and there's some people who don't. And just because they like something different than you doesn't mean you have to hate them. That's their choice and it's totally fine. Just because someone is different than you doesn't make them less nor more than you. Because we all collectively, we all the same. We are all the same collectively and unique at the same time. We all share the same source with a uniqueness, which is your soul and your spirit within you. If you're one of those parents that take the time to talk to your kids about the real world, I was gonna say the bad word, but big thank you guys. Big thank you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Because, there is a lot of kids committing suicide. Kids bullying each other. And for what? We are destroying our kids and creating an evil energy that we're not even aware of. And we're just passing that energy onto others. Some people are so used to that evil, dark energy. No, I don't like to call it dark. I would just leave it as evil energy. I noticed that the majority of these school shootings that had happened in the U.S. are being done by kids that had been bullied, and they won't get the help they're screaming out loud. Our kids are crying for help, and we're not listening. We're not doing anything to help them. We're not doing anything to help this new generation. And I know this, because when I was in school, I had the same thoughts. I wanted to harm my classmates because they were so mean and evil. They treated me so bad. I was just a kid trying to learn, go to school, live my life. But at that point, I was not even sure of my whole persona. I was beginning to explore myself. And maybe these kids, they were just repeating the same hate that was passed down to them by their parents. I remember once, 3 of my classmates chained me onto a tree for almost 3 hours. And nobody did anything about it. Nobody. They came back and unchained me, and they told me if I learn how to act like a man. I remember very, very clear. My soul, my spirit, my whole self were barely alive. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I didn't and luckily later my grandma transferred me to a Christian school, which it was just the same. But we didn't have trees on that one. That was the only difference. We didn't have trees. It was the same hate, the same ignorance in a new school. We need to stop this absurd obsession with trying to feel superior to each other. Trying or to have someone to look down to. Stop projecting your insecurities and heal them, for God's sake. And if you witness anyone being harassed or bullied, please take action. Please take action. Not doing anything is contributing to the evil cycle of hate. And you wouldn't want your kids going through the same cycle. You don't want your kids to be bullied in school. You don't want your kids to go to the same experience us gays have to go through. You need to take action. Please speak up. Take actions and help these kids. I am not more than you. but we're not the same. I'm not less than you. We are unique. I am unique as you are. We all come from the same source or essence, whatever you want to call it. You are a magnificent human being. And for the people in the community, this is for my LGBTQ plus people. And stop putting people down and stop judging people. Don't keep spreading the hate. Don't be part of that group. Make the difference. You know what it feels like. You damn well know what it feels like. Don't be part of that group. Keep yourself. Like, love yourself. Do not play nobody's game. If you don't have anything good to say about somebody, just don't say anything at all. Let's build each other, support each other. I know it's a challenge to deal with people in general, but you have the option to react to them or just let it go. Literally, just let it go. Not big drama. Just because, and also let me tell you this, just because you had a toxic behavior or toxic personality in the past, it doesn't mean you have to keep that image of you. You don't owe anything, not even your past, to nobody. So get close to you. Heal those injuries, those, like, your soul, your spirit, your heart. Heal. Try to heal yourself. Explore yourself within. Meditate. Take time for yourself. And never, like I said, never be ashamed of who you are and your mistakes, because that makes you the human that you are. That makes you the persona you are. You have nothing to prove. Nothing. And the only one responsible for your life and this reality, it's you. I admit, you know, like, life is a challenge. We didn't ask to be born. We don't even know how to live, but we don't want to die. Like, sometimes I get depressed and I'm like, I want to die. But, like, I literally don't want to die. I'm just like, I like drama. Okay, but in the end, guys, like, life is a roller coaster. Nothing is for granted. And you have control of everything that happens in your life. Everyone is fighting an internal fight that we're not even aware of. So let's be kind to each other. And if you have a religion, excludes you from the rest, you should get out of it. You should. Because that kind of religion told us to exclude people from the community, from humanity. That women will never be equal as men. Never. Literally, religion murdered Jesus. It wasn't the Jews, it wasn't the I don't know, the other people. It was a religion that killed Jesus. The laws, this and that. Because some of these religions are based on hate and perfectionism, which is just an illusion. Because nobody's perfect. Nobody. And I believe the reason why God or Goddess or whatever it's out there, the universe, haven't showed their faces is because you have to go into the adventure of creating your own experience to find the true essence of God or Goddess. Even if you don't believe in religion, find yourself, believe in yourself, build yourself. We are creating memories, and we are creating memories for ourselves, and at the same time we are creating memories in others. So might as well make those memories the best you can, because in the end, that's everything you will take. You won't take your car, you won't take your lifestyle, you won't take anything but your memories. So just make the best out of it. And if you are watching this on June of whatever year, celebrate freedom, celebrate humanity, and have fun. I love you all and thank you very much for being with me today. I hope you liked the video and share it with your friends. This is one of my first videos. I'll be uploading more, and I will talk more about my personal life. I love you and have a good night.